Welcome to the Elite Podcast Network, weekly wrestling podcast, the Indie Power Rankings, the Uncle Mike and Tom Show, WrestlingHeads Radio, and Beyond the 3 Count, where we are Elite.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. You're listening to the Elite Podcast Network. And it's great. I'm Skits, and I'm here with my co-host Tom and Oscar. What's going on, gentlemen?
Not much, man. Your mic was messing up in the beginning, but yeah, welcome to WrestlingHeads Radio. And yeah, that was Skits, and I'm Oscar. What's going on, Tom?
Not much, man. Not much. Got a lot to talk about tonight. Got a lot of things to talk about, and you know what? I'm ready. I know you're ready. Skits is ready. The listeners are ready. Let's get into it.
Yes, man.
Yay.
Me and Skits were talking about this. Like, we should do a show about the Hall of Fame. We could do a whole show about the Hall of Fame, and I think now is the time to do it. Yeah. So Skits, lead the way, man. Skits, did you break up again? Okay, well, it looks like Skits is having difficulties.
You can always tweet Skits at Skits' Shitty Mike on Twitter.
Oh, come on now. Don't be mean to Skits now.
No, I don't mean to Skits. It's Skits' Shitty Mike.
All right.
It's like his version of Roddy's Shitty Little Boots.
Oh, come on now. Don't be mean to Skits like that. But we'll be right back. For the meantime, let's just start at our topic tonight. Our topic is who do we feel should be in the WWE Hall of Fame? We know this past Monday, the Macho Man, Randy Savage, has been confirmed that he will be in the Hall of Fame this year. And little news of that, me and Skits are going to be at the Hall of Fame, San Jose. So me and Skits are going to be there, and it's going to be my second Hall of Fame. I was at the year when Hulk Hogan got in and Roddy Piper, but this is going to be my second one. I'll be honored to see the Macho Man get in. And it's been announced that on the WWE app that more names are going to be announced this Monday in Raw. So hopefully the names we're going to bring up are going to be in the Hall of Fame. So let's just start off with it. I'm going to start off in a single comparative way because there's singles, tag teams, divas, you can say, and stables. And you could add managers too, but in a single comparative way, I would love to see if, like, in my next list, get in will be Owen Hart.
Wow.
Owen Hart is, yes, this is why. Owen Hart, I would love him on, but the problem is that I believe his wife is blocking or having WWE prevent him to put it in there, but I think it's up to the wife to have him on the Hall of Fame than the WWE. I know a lot of people would love to see Owen Hart to get in, but, you know, he has a great resume. I mean, you know, he won every WWE title there is except for the WWE title. He had great feuds with his own brother, Bret the Hitman Hart. I loved his feud against Stone Cold Steve Austin the time he was in that stable, the Hart Foundation stable. I also loved the time when he was in that angle when he was, you know, the time was Canada versus United States in the WWE. That was crazy ass angle. He was part of it. But not only that, he's the 2-time Slammy Award winner. Remember that? He's the King of Hearts. Yeah.
He was a Slammy Award winner.
Yeah. And if there's a way they can bring in Owen Hart soon. Hopefully they can do it pretty soon. You know, I just don't want to be in a way that, you know, they have to wait till his wife pass away to put him in, because I would love to see his wife. I mean, not put it this way. I like to see the WWE show his wife what kind of respect they had for this guy. You know, it sucks that how the way he died was terrible, tragic death. You know, I mean, it was really terrible what happened to him, and you know, I really believe it was an accident from the WWE. People are saying, "Oh, WWE planned it." Fuck no. Why would he do that to Owen Hart? No fucking way. You know, I mean, Owen Hart's really respectful. And there's people saying, "Oh yeah, they did it because Vince and Brett didn't get along." I'm like, come on, man, get out of here with that shit. But yeah, Owen Hart should be in the Hall of Fame. I would love to see him in. I doubt they'll put him this year, even though if WWE and Martha Hart had some kind of agreement, but I doubt they'll have two wrestlers in the same class. Not to be fucked up or anything, but I just don't see that happening. But yeah, Owen Hart will be my top of my list right now in the single competitor way. I guess I'll pass the other one to you guys. Skits, who would you like to see in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, I know we picked like two singles competitors we're going to do today. My first one, British Bulldog. Where do I start with this guy's resume? Because he has another great resume. And he likes Owen Hart, too. He's I believe married to the family, right? Joe?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I was saying, is he married in family, right?
Well, yeah, he's part of the Hart family, but the thing is, though, he's married to Bret Hart and Owen Hart's sister, Diana Hart. So basically, that's the in-laws. Yeah, I mean, British Bulldog is a cool pick, a good pick, you know.
And he's also carried titles, and Bulldog also carried titles like the WWE tag titles, the IC title. I believe he was European champ once upon a time.
He was the first one.
What did you say?
No, he was the first European champion.
Yeah, he was the first European champ. Another guy who should have been WWE champ, but, you know, never happened. Shouldn't happen. Him and Owen Hart were great tag team when they were tag team champions at the moment. But you can't forget Bulldog also did work in WCW also. I mean, his resume basically speaks for itself, you know, like, this is a man that should be in, too. Let's hope WWE somehow put in one of the family members as part of the Hart family, the British Bulldog, well-deserved to be in the WWE Hall of Fame.
Yeah, you know those two. Yeah, those two names we name, Owen Hart and Owen Hart and the Bulldog. I mean, obviously they're gonna have the Hart family. Anybody from the Hart family induct them pretty much, and or speak up to him. You know, there's Bret Hart. There's hell, maybe they may bring in D.H. Smith, Davey Boy Smith Jr. to induct for his father. But you know, it's all obviously anybody in the Hart family will pretty much induct them in the Hall of Fame. Yeah. Tom, who do you think should be in the Hall of Fame?
My first singles competitor choice has to go to Ravishing Rick Rude. I think he should have gone in a while ago, and it's a shame that he still hasn't. Hopefully he goes in soon because, I talked about it on Monday's show, just one of the guys that was the complete wrestling package. He had the look, he had the charisma, he had the in-ring skill, and in a time where there was a lot of kind of narcissist gimmicks, the whole body type gimmicks and, looking at themselves and all that type of stuff. He was something different, and he was just one of the guys that stood out among the rest. And once again, just the accolades speak for himself. He was an Intercontinental Champion in a time where the Intercontinental title actually meant something. So I think Rick Rude is one of the most underrated guys, I think, in wrestling. I think he should have been a world champion. I think he had all the tools to be a world champion. And it's a shame he never got it. And it's a shame that he's no longer with us, just like Owen and Davey Boy. So those three guys right there, I think, when you ask wrestling fans who should go in, a lot of fans will either say one of those three guys right off the top of their head.
Yeah. Rick Rude. But
no, I'm pretty much going to say the same thing. Rick Rude, he is because he's almost like a pioneer in his business. He was one of the top heels in the late 80s, early 90s. My uncle, he's a longtime wrestling fan, Mr. Smith. He was a big Ultimate Warrior fan. I remember how much he hated Rick Rude, especially the time when that WrestleMania match when he beat him, when Bobby the Brain Heenan hold his foot and then not able to kick out how Rick Rude beat him. And then when Warrior won the title, I guess he had a feud again. Surprised that he had him on last year because Warrior and Rick Rude had one of the best feuds. They had two good feuds pretty much. You know, I'm surprised he didn't put him in last year. But, yeah, Rick Rude, he should get in somehow. And I'd love to see him in. I mean, I don't think WWE and Rick Rude have some kind of beef, you can say. I mean, it's kind of messed up how Rick Rude kind of left the WWE in his last run when he left and he stood up in WCW Nitro, which he was on both Nitro and Raw at the same time. No one has never done that in the history of wrestling, especially at a time where it was wrestling was kind of in its in its tops, the uphill. It was pretty good. It was the positive side. When that Wars was going on, and Rick Rude was the only man that done that. And Rick Rude's a guy who should get in. Like I said, I don't think they have no kind of issues going on. I mean, they had him on WWE video games just not long ago. So
I don't think there's any bad blood or any kind of angst toward each other. It's just, I think he's just one of those guys where it just, I don't know why WWE is holding off putting him in. I don't think there's any reason to. And like I said, he was a prolific figure in the late 80s and early 90s. He, like you said, he was one of the top heels during the time. But not just that. I think he was the complete package. When you look back at history, I think when you talk about that period, two or three of the most complete guys, I think of Randy Savage, Kurt Hennig, and Rick Rude as just the complete and total package of what a pro wrestler should be.
Yeah. Get your cane off again.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Carrie?
A little bit. You're going like on and off.
Basically, I said, like, he used to work for ECW, WWF, WCW. He's three-time WCW Intercontinental. He's a three-time IC champ. He was also World Heavyweight champ in WCW.
Yep.
So the guy's got a fucking resume. He also was the WCW US champ. Like, come on now. Like, he was NWA World champ.
Yeah.
So
I mean, yeah, he will get it one of these years. I think he will be. But the thing is, though, right now these names we just named, they're all pretty much deceased, and I don't think they don't have a class nothing but deceased guys. I mean, it's cool for each one class. Like Yokozuna was in one, and then there's Stu Hart. I mean, I think they're taking their time with deceased guys, but all these few guys are going to get in somehow, some way.
Yeah.
Yeah. A guy that I think will go in, I'm not saying I want him in, but a guy who's alive right now, but I think he's going to get in somehow, some way. Skits, I know you're not a fan of him. I don't know about you, Tom, but the guy I'm about to name is Goldberg. I think Goldberg will get in somehow. I was shocked that he didn't get in during WrestleMania 27 weekend when they had it in Atlanta, but instead it was Shawn Michaels was the head of class of that year. So I think Goldberg will get in somehow, some way. I mean, he had a huge fan base in his time in WCW. He had almost like a gimmick where, it was something that it worked during the late 90s where that huge streak he had. And he was squashing people left and right. And I know he was not a great wrestler. He was not a great match technician. That WCW or the Monday Night War, the episode they have on the WWE Network, it shows that he was not a great mat technician. He wrestled William Regal, and he looked like shit. But, at that time, the crowd loved seeing Goldberg beating people in 1 minute. And then that streak thing was going on. It might have gone even better, but bad booking from Kevin Nash. He was later on became the booker in WCW, and, he just proved that he was a bad, terrible booker. He was the one that came with the idea of the finger poke of doom. But, I think Goldberg will get in somehow, some way. And, I'm not a big Goldberg fan, but he will get in.
I don't think that's, a far stretch to say that he's going to go in. He did a little bit of time in WWE, even though I think his run could have been better, but that's another subject. But, he's always featured on stuff with WCW that WWE produces. They mention him a lot. I think WWE knows how big of a star he was. And, now that they own WCW, I think you're going to see, WCW guys getting in. And I think Sting probably going in either, next year or whenever. I think it's the first step into bringing guys who maybe didn't have bigger careers in WWE but had it somewhere else, whether it was WCW, the NWA, AWA, whatever wrestling company. I think we're going to see the start of that. So I don't think Goldberg's a far stretch to say he'll be in.
Yeah. Sting, like you mentioned Sting, he's under contract with WWE as of right now, and I don't think he's going to get in not this year or the year after, maybe when he decided to hang it up. Because there's also all these rumors saying he will love to wrestle more than one match in the WWE. But if that's true, then we won't see him in the Hall of Fame probably maybe in 2 or 3 years possibly. I think that Undertaker-Sting match is probably going to happen one of these years, not this year's WrestleMania. But, Sting will get in somehow, some way. I'm going to pass it to Skid. Skid, is there any single competitor guys you would like to see in the Hall of Fame? Get you there? Okay, I guess we're having problems again. All right. Is there anybody in the single competitors in your mind that you'd like to see get in the Hall of Fame, Tom?
Yeah, I had a name, and I had this discussion with one of my friends over Twitter, and I thought about this, and I was thinking, it probably will never happen, but I feel like it should. WWE a couple years ago inducted Antonio Inoki into the WWE Hall of Fame, even though he never really appeared for them. And I think WWE needs to start recognizing a lot of the Japanese talent that paved the way in wrestling history and just give them the rightful place, even though they never really wrestled for WWE or whatever. And I believe that they should do that by first inducting Misawa. Even though WWE is a sports entertainment company. They don't pride themselves as a wrestling company. I think with the Hall of Fame, they sort of recognize the wrestling talent as well, not just sports entertainment. And Misawa is one of the true all-time legends, not just in Japanese wrestling history, but in pro wrestling history in general. Many consider him one of the greatest wrestlers in the history of the business. I mean, you look at how many 5-star matches the guy had, so many different feuds the guy has been in. So I think, since WWE decided to, induct Antonio Inoki, and they did something with no match for us, even though neither guy really has been in the WWE, I think that they should start by, inducting Misawa and then getting some more guys in like Misawa in there, some Japanese legends.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think they should put him in there. I mean, he has a great career over there in Japan. I think they will put him in. It might take a while to put him in. In my mind, I think they will put him in somehow, but it might take a while.
Yeah. And I was thinking before, I think if they were going to induct another Japanese talent, I would think maybe one of the first people that they do it is either Jushin Thunder Liger or the Great Muta, because they've had more experience in the States. They were both in WCW, so they're more familiar with the Western audience as opposed to Misawa, which either just Japanese fans know him or true, hardcore wrestling fans know of his work. So I think, even though I would like Misawa in before those two other guys, I think a guy like Jushin Thunder Liger would get in before Misawa.
Definitely. Let's see if Skitch is back on. Skitch, you back on?
I'm here.
All right, definitely.
It's just that fucking bum ass Skype went to act like a bitch, and I was talking the whole time, and I heard you guys. Yeah, I was with the comment back on your Goldberg thing. Yeah, not a big Goldberg fan, but Goldberg has done a lot, for the sport or whatnot. His run in WCW was great for that company at the time. Hey, put the man in. If you put in fucking Drew Carey, go for it. So I have no complaints. I'm pretty sure he'll get a go over chant going on. And to comment on Tom's his pick, why not? Shouldn't just be all about who's been in the WWE, even though it's called the WWE Hall of Fame. But the WWE is like the promotion that everybody wants to work for when they're young, kids and stuff. A lot of these guys, they are wrestlers because of the WWE, so it's just right, But my next person, who I would say, I'm not a big fan of this guy, but this guy's gonna go in, and it wouldn't surprise me if it happens soon. This guy is actually 6-time world champion, 5-time WCW world heavyweight champion. He actually was tag team. He's actually used to be a tag team with a WWE Hall of Famer. It's the man Diesel / Kevin Nash for the Click. So yeah, Kevin Nash will probably be a guy I would like to see get in the Hall of Fame. I was a big fan of Kevin Nash when I was young. Big Diesel fan when I was young. Him and Shawn Michaels, as tag team partners back in the days, it was cool to watch. Because I'm, for all those that don't know, I'm like the biggest Shawn Michaels fan. So if you was watching Shawn, you was watching Nash. So we all know him and Scott Hall left the WWE to go to WCW. You saw what happened over there. They created the NWO. You know, they blew off the roof with probably one of the best stables of all time. And 12-time fucking tag team champion. Like, goddamn. With all three promotions. With all three promotions.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, the thing with Kevin Nash, I think, is the same thing they're going to do with Scott Hall. I think they're going to induct him as a singles competitor as Diesel, and then I think maybe get inducted again as Kevin Nash if the NWO does get inducted. So I think they're gonna do the same thing for Scott Hall. You know, they inducted him last year as Razor Ramon, you know, his WWE character, and then I think they're going to induct him just plainly as Scott Hall if they induct the NWO.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny that he mentions Kevin Nash. I truly believe he could have gotten this year, but the problem is now that, you know, this recent acts he just did with the abuse, even though they dropped the charges, I mean, it'll be really bizarre having Kevin Nash get in the Hall of Fame this year. Maybe next year he'll get in.
Well, I mean, I see where you're coming from, but they weren't going to let him on the WWE Raw reunion, and now they're giving him the green light to actually be on the show. So
yeah,
that just came in. I mean, I disagree with W for doing that. I mean, I'm not down for that. I mean, it's just a weird timing for them to put him on, you know, in that show. It was just really weird. I mean, abuse is kind of like it's kind of being a big thing now. I mean, the NFL program against abuse. I don't think WWE has that kind of program, but I mean,
I don't want to kind of like bring this like on the show because like it really has nothing to do with wrestling. But I just want to say, like, let me ask you a question. If you had a son and your son was giving your ex-wife shit, you know, like, wouldn't you check him? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, and then what society is today, man, I mean, it's just weird. Like,
how old is the kid anyways?
I have no idea. I mean,
he's not a little kid, I'll tell you that, because he for sure don't look like one.
I know he's a little kid, but I mean, it's just weird how America wants their kids to punish their children. It's just weird. It's like you can't get hit from a bill anymore. Fucking Adrian Peterson got in trouble because he hit a kid with a stick, but all he did it for discipline, not to abuse them. It's just freaking weird, you know, how we live in society today with that situation. But that's something we could talk about some other time. But like I said, I agree with you, Skits. Kevin Nash should get in. He's someone that, you know, he started off pretty bad in his career, like had dumb gimmicks like Oz, Beanie Vegas, you know, it was dumb gimmicks. But when he got to the WWE, that's when he got his break as Diesel. And he beat Bob Backlund when Bob Backlund had a 3-day reign of the WWE title. And he held that title for like a straight year until Bret Hart beat him. But also he did great in WCW. The only thing is that I did not agree with Nash did, was he was the booker and he made himself over for beating Goldberg and then giving the title to Hogan a week later, you know. So
I don't think none of us like that shit.
Yeah, none of us didn't like that shit either. But then you can see he still have a great career. The outsider thing, it was all great. I mean, it was something I enjoyed. And, Kevin Nash does deserve to get in. Pretty much the whole clique deserved to get in. But, yeah.
Real quick to all the listeners listening in, callers are calling. We will put you on, but you can also call up at 347-945-5566. We'll put you on in a minute as soon as we finish our Hall of Fame guys.
Oh yeah, keep going. I got a message from somebody I need to share, but keep going.
We'll throw on the callers as soon as we finish mentioning the folks that we would like to see in the Hall of Fame. period. It doesn't mean this year, but period. We're almost done. We got the Divas to do a tag team and stable. So go ahead.
Well, I got a message from Mario. He said, Red Rooster. But I laughed at that part, but I was thinking, what about this other character, Terry Taylor? Is he someone that should get in the Hall of Fame? I mean, as Terry Taylor, he's an underrated wrestler. No one didn't give him props. I mean, even Daniel Bryan really liked him. I mean, I watched some of his old stuff in WCW and on the network. He actually put on some good matches, but in the WWE, they gave him a dumb gimmick, the Red Rooster. But I don't know. What you guys think? Terry Taylor in the Hall of Fame?
Terry Taylor.
I couldn't see him in the Hall of Fame.
Question is,
even though he was a guy who, he had the skill and the talent, and then he got put with a shitty gimmick. Even then, I just, and he's done a lot of work as a trainer. I don't think he has the Hall of Fame type of career, and he's just one of those guys that's going to be remembered as a trainer and a booker and the Red Rooster. I don't think he deserves the Hall of Fame spot.
Right. Yeah, my comment on that, I mean, let's be honest, like when the WWE announces their Hall of Fame, is that so their Hall of Fame tickets, Like, is people really like going to be pumped up to see Terry? You know what I mean?
You see how the WWE does it when they try to boost tickets? They announce the head of class, like example, the Macho Man. They're just announcing now where you can buy tickets to go to the Hall of Fame. That's the name of it. Terry Taylor is not that kind of guy, but if they want to put him in, he'll be in a class somewhere. He'd probably be the last one even announced in the class. But
I don't see it. If that's the case, you might as well put the Brooklyn Brawler in.
I also got a list of names that our buddy George is giving us. One name he gave us is the Hockey Talk Man. What about the Hockey Talk Man? I think he should get in. I really think he should get in. He's probably the greatest Intercontinental champ of all time. Why not have the Hockey Talk Man in?
The question is Honky Tonk Man in good terms with the WWE? He shoots on him all the time.
Yeah, I mean, that's totally bad thing. I mean, I feel like he has an up and down relationship. I remember there was a little rumor going around at the time when Santino was running his mouth at him, and then he had a match with him in one of those bragging rights pay-per-views. There was talk that he was not going to show up, but he did end up showing up. It's a weird relationship between the Hockey Talk Man and the WWE, so who knows? But do I want to see the Hockey Talk Man get in? Yeah, I'm down. I mean, I don't know about Tom, but I think he should get in with that Intercontinental title reign he had. I mean, that should be a good resume, and he has some great rivalries.
If that's the case, Ted DiBiase should be in.
Ted DiBiase's already in.
I was about to say,
yeah, $1 million man's already in.
I was making sure Ted DiBiase's in.
Yeah, but even, Ted DiBiase, I think, was a much bigger and better character than the Honky Tonk Man. I don't know. I just feel like Ted DiBiase is like heads and leaps above the Honky Tonk Man as far as talent. That's just my opinion.
Let's move on real quick because we got callers waiting to share their thoughts. Let's on our tag team. Who'd you guys pick?
That's me. Okay.
Let me go first. How about?
No, I was going to say I was hoping you answer the calls first because I still got a list of names that George sent out. Like, it's very interesting.
Okay.
But,
fuck it. Let's take the call. My boy Mark off of Tacos. What up, man? You're online.
Hey, what's going on, guys? What's up?
What up, man?
Hey, nothing much, man. I kind of have TNA from tonight on pause, and I've probably seen about 10 minutes of it. I've done about hour, 20 minutes of fast forwarding. Yeah, man. But the whole thing about Terry Taylor, man, if you have Coco Beware in there, Terry Taylor could be in there too.
Right. Yeah, but the difference between, the difference between Terry Taylor and Coco Beware is, Terry Taylor got stuck with a shitty gimmick, but Coco Beware is, I don't think, a Hall of Famer, but Coco Beware was insanely over in the time that he was running. He was never a top guy. He was never going to be close to a top guy, but he was still an insanely over mid-carder. He got better reactions than the top guys in the business get today. That is how over it was.
Yeah, man.
So that's the only reason he got in, was how popular he was.
That is kind of true, man. Actually, I heard that Coco was bigger down south before he even got to the WWE. I'm not sure where down south he was, but I think it was Memphis. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Yeah, around the, those territories down there, I think he was big in Louisiana. I think he everybody shits on Coco Beware and says, if he's in the Hall of Fame, anyone could be in. But I feel like he's in the same category as Junkyard Dog, as neither guy was, a top guy or a main eventer, and they never were going to be, but they were just so over with the crowd that they were solid mid-card people, during that time frame. And a lot of people don't realize how over both guys were,
Right, man, and I can agree with that. And I love what y'all said earlier about Misawa. I completely agree. And if you're going to do that for Misawa, you got to do the Four Horsemen of Japan. The Four Horsemen, in my opinion, Misawa, Kobashi, Liger, and Muta. And if one day that could happen, man, that would be fan-fucking-tastic.
Yeah, I think they should do that. I don't know what their consideration is to put in Japanese talent, but who knows? Who knows? Maybe they'll start changing their mind. I don't know.
Man, and I agree with that. But it makes me think how I will forever be pissed off how they inducted Carlos Colon. And obviously, you would know the reasons why. I found it to be so disrespectful that they inducted him but not Bruiser Brody. That makes no fucking sense to me.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And, Bruiser Brody is an absolute legend in this business and could have been even bigger. He was in his early 40s when he was murdered. And who knows how big he could have gotten. And who knows if he could have maybe came to the WWE and had a solid run for a couple of years. Who knows? But we'll never know that because of the circumstances that happened on that that fateful night. And I know a lot of people were pissed off that he got inducted. I mean, at the Hall of Fame, people were booing him. And besides Drew Carey, who's another Hall of Famer that people are going to boo? Not many.
I think Trish Stratus when she announced that she was pregnant.
Yeah. Or showing her.
I think that wasn't a boo. That was just people going, God damn it, come on.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Yeah. I appreciate your time, but I'm going to go ahead and give you some time to get some other callers in.
Yeah. All right. Cool. All right. Take care.
Hey, Mark. Mark Avatagos.
Did we lose him?
Is he still there?
I don't think so.
I think he hung up. I want to talk to him about some other stuff. But yeah, the tag team.
Hold on. Do you want me to give you a list before we go to tag team? From George?
Sure.
Okay, he gave me another list, another deceased guy. The Big Boss Man. What do you think of the Big Boss Man? I mean, I met him when I was 6 years old. There's a picture of me and the Boss Man on our Instagram you guys could check out. But
yeah, we always know that you had to put that one over.
Oh yeah, I got to do that. Come on. But the way he did it was so nice. I mean, my dad ran into him in the gym, and because my dad knew I was a big WWF fan, he was like, "Hey, I have a son. He's a big WWF fan. Can can I bring him over and we like take a picture with him? He's like, yeah, sure, just bring him on, you know. So my dad went to drive at least at the time I was living by the airport. I would say maybe a mile or two away from the LAX airport, the hotel we were staying at, and he went over there and picked me up and brought me over. And Big Bossman was still there working out, and my dad ran into him and he said, "Hey, this is my son right here." And he said, "Hey, how you doing, man?" So that was cool. That was cool what he did. You know, he actually waited. He waited for my dad to bring me over and just to meet him. You know, that was freaking cool. You know, I mean, ever do that? You know, I don't know if anybody will do that, but I understand I was young. I was a kid at the time, but you know, yeah, that was really nice of what the Big Bossman did, and it's a cool thing. But his career-wise, I say he had a better successful WWE career than he was in WCW. I mean, I liked him more better when he was during the Attitude Era. The time he was going against Austin in the Hardcore division time. I mean, that was I liked that Big Bossman better than he was going against like the Mountie and them, you know, in early WWE time. But yeah, I mean,
no questions asked. No questions asked. Put the man in. No questions asked.
Yeah, I think the Bossman deserves it. And it's funny because a lot of people, you know, I like either Bossman character, but when, you know, the Bossman first came into the WWE, you know, the late 80s, early 90s, he was a pretty big star. I mean, before he eventually turned heel on that whole character and whatever, he was I don't want to call him a main eventer because he really never main evented for the title, but he was at the top of the card a lot of the time. There was actually one time he did, but actually, you know what? I take that back. He didn't, but he did had a feud for the WWE title, which a feud that was actually pretty good with him and the Big Show. Had that little feud, and when he went to the Big Show's dad's cemetery, he attacked the Big Show and dragged his dad's coffin. That was the most fucked up shit I think the WWE ever done, but that was interesting though. Yeah, and then when he went to his mom's house and he made his mom admit that he was a bastard. I mean, that was fucked up. He did some fucked up things with the Big Show. He was, you know, I think he was a good face during his early WWE run. I think he was insanely popular. You know, that feud with the Mountie, he was insanely over. And he was involved in a lot of big programs in his early run, but when he became a heel, when he came back during the Attitude Era, I mean, you just talk about the biggest of dicks. He was the biggest of assholes. He could make everybody hate him. And I think he's had a Hall of Fame career.
Definitely.
Yeah. No, go ahead, Skits.
Oh, no, I said definitely.
Okay.
You wanted to still share some more, or?
Well, he gave me two more. Just two more, and that's it. But one of them I agree, one I disagree. The one I disagree, I don't know if he'll get in, but the one-man gang, a.k.a. Hakeem the African Dream, I don't know about him.
No. Negative.
I don't know about that guy. I mean, he's basically was brought in to feud with Hulk Hogan. And I don't know what this Hakeem thing came along. I mean, I don't know about him. I mean,
I'm sorry.
Howard, I don't know about him. I don't know about Hakeem.
I'm sorry. I know my boy George is definitely probably love that tag team, but Big Bossman was the star of that group. He basically Hakeem was Marty Jannetty.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, a name that I agree he named right here, but this one I agree he's going to get in some way. The Rock, he's going to get in somehow.
Oh my God!
Definitely. I mean,
yeah.
Are you fucking?
That's no questions asked. Do we have to go down his resume? Do we have to go down the resume?
That's like asking if Triple H is going to get into the Hall of Fame. Come on.
Yeah. That's no questions asked. We know The Rock. Let's go down Dwayne Johnson's fucking resume, shall we?
Go ahead. I mean, The Rock.
I mean, we know The Rock, you know, we all know that he basically is a third-generation superstar, right?
Yeah.
So right there says, you know, that he's got that wrestling, blood in him. So, but The Rock, how many times he's been WWE champ? Like plenty of times. Like he's headlined at WrestleManias multiple times. Held the IC title, tag team champs with Mankind. He's held just about every major WWE title. He's a Triple Crown winner. So 5 times.
And
he's one of the WWF Tag Team Championship 5 times, and I didn't know that. He's won the IC title twice. He also won the WCW / World Championship title twice.
Mm-hmm.
I mean.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, come on. The Rock is just one of the biggest names in wrestling history. He is going to be a name that people remember until the end of time. There's no question when he goes in. It's going to be one of the biggest inductions ever. Alongside
leader.
Stone Cold.
He also was the leader, or also basically in the corporation, he was like that guy for a second. The corporate champ. Let's not forget that.
Okay, Skip, you cut off one point, but I think the first thing you said was he was the leader, or one time the leader of the Nation of Domination, which he was. He basically kicked Farouk out to become the leader. Yeah, and then the corporation thing, he was the head guy there until the corporation turned his back, I believe, or he turned his back on the corporation. But I remember all that. And there's another thing we gotta name. One thing we gotta say something about The Rock, though. He's the only man that ever beat John Cena, Stone Cold, and Hulk Hogan in a WrestleMania. He's the only one that ever done that. No one else can ever do that. There's no other name who ever beat those 3 guys in a WrestleMania.
Yeah, unless John Cena faces Hogan at this year's WrestleMania, and then next year's WrestleMania, he faces
I don't want to
himself.
see that. I don't want to see no Hogan Cena match at WrestleMania. No way. I'm going to be at WrestleMania. I don't know if I want to see a Hogan John Cena match. No way.
Let's not forget. Also, The Rock. You said he is one of the only wrestlers I think that has never faced Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
One of the major guys, meaning by like the Attitude Era guys.
It never happened, man.
I think if Rock didn't go away to Hollywood, we might have seen it. I think that could have been a WrestleMania caliber match.
Yeah, don't also forget, there was a time that Shawn Michaels was out for 4 years. At that time he was out for 4 years. That's when The Rock was really in his peak, Yeah. So there was missed opportunities that had a feud there. Maybe a Shawn Michaels against the Nation Domination Rock would have been a great feud, But fortunately, it didn't happen.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Shall we? Let's talk about the tag team that we want to see. Now, the tag team I want to see, this team is probably a team that you guys think I would not name right now at the moment, but this team is so damn good, and both of these wrestlers went on to singles competition too, and did well for themselves. One of them probably was injured a lot, but one definitely had a hell of a year, and that's Edge and Christian.
That's an interesting choice.
They won it 7 times. Seven times WWF champs.
I would think you have to. I think they need to induct both guys as singles competitors and as a tag team.
I don't see Christian as a Hall of Famer in singles, though.
I think Christian deserves a singles Hall of Fame.
I don't see it. Sorry. I'm not giving Christian no love for singles. His singles runs or just injuries?
You know what would be
well,
nice?
Yeah, that was toward the end of his career, but I mean, the time before he went to TNA, I mean, he was one of the biggest heels.
We
in
can't
the
count TNA in it, but this is the WWE.
No, I'm not counting. I'm saying the time.
No, you're not counting TNA, dude.
No, I was saying the time right before he went to TNA, you know, where it looked like he was going to get a big push, and then that's why he went to TNA. Right before then, he was one of the biggest heels in the company. He's a multiple-time Intercontinental Champion, multiple-time Tag Team Champion. I mean, I think he deserves
7-time.
I think he deserves a Hall of Fame. I think if the booking was better, he would have been a multiple-time WWE champion.
I just couldn't get with this Christian gimmick.
A better world title run.
I never could get with Christian's gimmick. Like the peeps, I could never get with that gimmick. I don't know. Never could.
Yeah. I don't know about Christian's single run in the Hall of Fame, but going back to Edge and Christian, you know what? Now what I'm hearing from you guys, I think they should maybe one time to have them both reunite and have them both in the Hall of Fame together. I mean, would it be nice to see either the Hardy Boys or the Dudleys induct them in? That'd be great if one of those two teams could induct them in, or even both of them. I mean, with the history of the TLC matches they had and ladder matches, I mean, during that tag team division at that time, it was crazy, you know. And I mean, it'd be nice, and it'd be so nice if they do it. You know, so nice they do it, induct them in. If they could come out with that "You Think You Know Me" music, and they come through the crowd, that would be nice to do that one more time. You know, that'd be sweet. I wish they did that on that one time they had in Raw, but they didn't do it.
Yeah. And when I'm looking at their resume, like, these guys have been tag team for a while. Like, back in the Indies, I guess they used to call themselves High Impact. They also had a team called Suicide Blondes. Revolution X was the name of their tag team. Hard Impact was the name of their team once. Canadian Rockers was the name of their team once, too. They've been around for a while as a tag team, so.
Yeah.
Edge and Christian.
Yeah, Edge and Christian. You know what? I say you should put them in. But there's a tag team in my mind I should put in. Well, I always said in this show they should go in, but motherfucking Axe and Smash, Demolition, these guys deserve. I mean, these guys deserve to go in before Edge and Christian. But these guys right here were at the time in the top of the tag teams were WWE tag team division at the time. You know, in the late 80s, early 90s, Demolition were the tag team there. And then there's some negative talk that, they're a rip off the Road Warriors. Well, they can kiss my ass. There was a time, like I said, that division had the Rockers, Heart Foundation. Those teams could have been tag team champions, but, you know, and then at the time when they were there, they were bringing in the Steiner Brothers, Nasty Boys and them. And then you had Demolition, which they held the WWE Tag Team Champions for 16 months. And then you had that good tag division. That's something there. And they had some classic rivalries against guys like the Road Warriors. So was one of them. That was a dream tag team match, and then they had a match right there. And even though they had the Road Warriors go over, I mean, people wanted to see that tag match, and it happened. And then they had great feuds with the Hart Foundation, which I really liked, and also the Heenan family. And they pretty much ended Andre the Giant's career. Andre the Giant's last match was with Demolition at WrestleMania 6. But, yeah, Demolition should get in. 3-time tag team champs. One point had 16 months with all the tag teams they were going on. Oh, don't forget, they had a great feud with the Powers of Pain, you know. And it's funny now that, you know, you have the Ascension, keep mentioning them, not only the Demolition, but, you know, Road Warriors and the Powers of Pain. I'm hoping this will lead to Demolition getting this year. But, yeah, Axe and Smash should get in. I mean, hopefully they'll get in this year because I'm going to the Hall of Fame, or me and you, Skits, we're going, and I will be happy to see those guys get in the Hall of Fame. Axe and Smash, Demolition, they're probably my favorite tag team at that time. As a kid,
Three
I thought they were
times.
cool with Omega. Three
times
times
WWE Tag Team champs.
Yeah.
And don't forget
Three
Crush.
times. Yeah, Crush was part of them. That part I didn't understand why they had a third guy, but then I kind of get it later on why they got him in. But yeah, the Axis Smash Demolition, they got to put him in soon. I mean, I don't think they have nothing against WWE at all. I mean, I heard some interviews with them. They always say positive stuff with them, and I'm pretty sure they asked them today if they want to get in this year. They'll say, hell yeah, we'll get in. And I'll be happy to go in, and hopefully they do some kind of signing shit if they do get in, because I'll go to one of the accesses if they do that. I'm like, oh, I'd like to meet those guys. I mean, they were fucking awesome. I don't think you guys have no argument, but Demolition should get in.
No argument here.
Nope, nothing for me.
Yeah. Now that we heard Skits and my tag team, do you have a tag team in your mind they should get in the Hall of Fame? Tom?
Yeah, I truly believe, before I get into my tag team, going on Skits' pick, I believe that there's 4 teams from the Attitude Era that should get into the Hall of Fame. Edge and Christian, the Hardys, the Dudleys, and the New Age Outlaws. I think all 4 of those should get in because the tag team scene during that period was amazing. I mean, and all 4 of those teams, whether they were good guys or bad guys, were all over. You know, the crowd either loved them or hated them, but they knew that all 4 of those teams were talented as hell. So I think all 4 of those teams should get in. But my pick that I feel should get in are the Steiner brothers, Rick and Scott Steiner.
Yeah.
I think they're one of the greatest tag teams in wrestling history. 7-time NWA/WCW tag team champions, 2-time IWGP tag team champions, 2-time WWE tag team champions. I mean, what can you say about the Steiner brothers before, Scott Steiner changed his attitude and changed his look and all that? I mean, this was one of the best in-ring tag teams in wrestling. And the combination of these 2 guys in there with anybody was just incredible to see. Both these guys have an amateur wrestling background, and I think that showed in a lot of their matches. And that's why they really got over. The crowds really loved them wherever they went. So I think the Steiners should get in as a tag team.
Yeah, you know what's funny? About a few weeks ago, Tom, I saw something in the WWE Network. I was watching like Starrcade, and one was Starrcade, and then there was a tournament going on, a tag tournament that represents countries. They represent the United States, and they squashed this tag team from New Zealand. They beat them in the first round. The second round, they beat an instant tag team. They beat Team Mexico, which was Conan and the original Rey Mysterio. They beat them. Their match was pretty good. I enjoyed that match, even though it was pretty quick, but I enjoyed that match. And the finals they went was against Team Japan, which the Great Muta and Saito. And that was an awesome match. That was a close counter match, and the Steiner brothers won that tournament, and that was freaking amazing. And I agree, the Steiner brothers should get in too. I mean, you just named a resume, and then not only that, they won the NWA United States tag titles. I mean, back in those days, NWA had like secondary tag titles, which we don't see in today. We don't see those at all today. Maybe in the NWA, but I mean, they're not popular like I was back then, And the Steiners brothers did have a little short, brief run in the WWE. They did won the tag titles. They did. And I mean, they had their resumes Hall of Fame worthy. They should get in. I don't know when will they put them in. I mean, hopefully sooner rather than later. I don't know what they're going on with the WWE and Scott Steiner and Rick. But I think they should get in. I mean, sooner than better. That'd be great. But if those have to be out, 2 Steiner brothers. But I think they'll get in. Hopefully they'll get in within now and 10 years.
all I gotta say is,
Project Almanac 732. Hold on, Skits, you're breaking up.
I said
Oh, you're still breaking up, bro. All I got. That's it. I think he's trying to say that he has no argument with putting the Steiner brothers in.
No. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yep.
I said all I have to say is holler if you hear me.
Oh, Master P. But anyway,
that's fucking what you call it, Scott Steiner.
Yeah, no, Scott Steiner. We got that from Master P.
Listen, if the WWE doesn't induct the Steiner brothers, then, they're a bunch of fat asses.
Yeah. I mean,
another Scott Steiner.
Someone got to shoot them in the head if they don't sub the Steiner brothers. But I think they'll get in. Yeah. You know what? It's funny, Skip. I got another George sent me another message. You guys are gonna laugh when he sent me this tag team. He said, "Luke and Bush the Bushwhackers." I don't know about those guys. I don't know.
I'm just gonna go ahead and we got to move on to our last one so we can get into some indie talk before the show ends. Go ahead and share your diva.
Okay, for me, I would put in Medusa. She was a tough chick. She had a great little feud in ECW, early ECW with Sherry. She had a little great run in WWE as Alundra Blaze, going against like Blue Mikado and the Birth of Fame. Then in WCW, she got in there. She had a great resume. The only thing is that about Medusa is that I don't know if they'll put her in because I'm hearing that WWE is still upset at her because she threw the WWE title on the trash in Nitro, and I don't know. I guess they're still mad about that. That's what I'm hearing. But if there is, and it's probably a while that they put in Medusa. But Medusa was very great in the ring. I mean, even though she will, if she was still in it today, I would like to see her going against like Natalia or Candice LeRae or maybe even Sveta Scott. She pretty much any chick. She'll put up a good match. Even if you put her against Eva Marie, she'll put it in a good match. She can work with anybody, Medusa. Or what about Medusa and Sarah Del Rey? That would be a fucking hard hitting match, But Medusa's one tough chick, and I would love to see her get in the Hall of Fame. But fortunately, I don't know what's the relationship with the WWE today. I mean, what I'm hearing from people that it's not good at all, and hopefully they can work something out and put her in, but I think she deserves to get in.
Yeah, but just like you said, we already know how the relationship is with the WWE and her, so yeah, unfortunately I don't think that's going to happen, but yeah.
Yeah. Skits, what do you think in the women should get in?
Luna
Vachon?
Yes.
Interesting.
Hell yeah. I agree with that fucking 110%. I mean, one of the most interesting women wrestlers in history. Part of the famous Vachon family. I think she was way underutilized in the WWE. I think she could have been a huge threat to the women's division at the time. I think she was incredibly talented. Everybody, all the wrestlers that have met her have only said like the nicest things about her. They said she was like the nicest woman, kind, respectful, all of that. So I agree with Luna Vachon 100%.
Yeah, I want to share my.
Did you guys ever see that shoot? You guys ever see that shoot? When Luna Vachon basically said the WWE wanted her to put over her Sable.
Yeah.
Where did they wrestle again? WrestleMania?
I remember Jim Cornette in a shoot interview talking about that because he fucking hated Sable, you know, and he's like, you know, a talented wrestler like Luna Vachon has to fucking put over a shitty wrestler like Sable just because she has big fucking tits.
Damn. No, I never saw that, but that's crazy.
It should be YouTube.
All right, I'll check it out. But I want to share my little thoughts about Luna. I mean, when I was small, I mean, I never liked her voice. Like, her voice just kind of scare me. Like, the way she talked, like, you know, and all that. And then I was like, who the fuck is this girl attacking Sherry? You know, I mean, I thought Sherry was tough, but this girl was all over Sherry. You know, she was beating the shit out of Sherry. And then, you know, the way she talked, and she was one scary chick. Like, god damn, you know. But, Tom, I don't know if you know, but over here in California, this is a company called Vendetta Pro. The last 2 years they did a tournament, a women's tournament, in honor of Luna Vachon. Hudson Envy won last year, and this year, or what is it, 2013, Hudson Envy won that tournament. 2014 was Ray's. So far these tournaments been pretty good for the women wrestlers here in SoCal. But, yeah, they've been doing an honor for Luna Vachon, and, yeah, I mean, I guess fuck it. They should put her on then. Luna Vachon, she was awesome. Another thing I want to share though, that time she was with Goldust. I mean, that whole artist form and known thing. I mean, at that time I thought it was bizarre to watch. Like, what the fuck is this shit? But watching the old Ross and the WWE Network, I'm like, you know what? This is freaking awesome. You know, it's actually pretty good. With the whole fucking Goldust dressed like Marilyn Manson, and then he was doing all these other colors and bizarre things. Now, when I got older, I'm thinking, this was fucking awesome. You know?
Another thing, Luna was her rival was your girl, Medusa, in WCW. So,
Yeah.
And let's not forget, Luna is also the first woman to appear on a WWE video game.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they should put in Luna. Yeah, that's a good choice here, Skits. Tom, you got any women that you like to see in the WWE Hall of Fame?
This is a good one.
I have two names, actually. One was a wrestler, one was a non-wrestler. The non-wrestler, I believe, should go in because of what's going on this year with the Hall of Fame. Miss Elizabeth needs to go into the Hall of Fame, the first lady of the WWE. The first time you saw a female manager in the WWE. I mean, she was as big a part of Macho Man as just Macho Man was, because she was involved in a lot of the aspects of the feud that he was in.
Especially
she was a big part of his life. I believe Miss Elizabeth needs to go in, you know, regardless of how she left us. Maybe WWE doesn't want to put her in because of that fact, because of how she left. But what she did in her personal life shouldn't take away from what she did in the WWE. And, you know, just excellent manager. So she should go in. And as far as the wrestler that I believe should go in, this one might not be, I don't know if you guys would agree, because she wasn't really in WWE for too long, but I believe Bo Nakano should go into the WWE Hall of Fame.
I thought you were going to say the name that I thought you were going to say, that we discussed off air.
Oh, no. I was thinking about that one, but I like this one better because I think Bo Nakano is one of the best Japanese women's wrestlers ever. You know, that early 1990s All Japan women's team, people still talk about it to this day because there's that many talented wrestlers. She won the WWF women's title one time. I think she should have gotten, you know, a longer stay in the WWE. But what Skip was referring to is off air before we came on. I was talking about China because China's, I think, what he discusses. But I made the joke that I was thinking that China should go in, but I don't know, is she a woman or is she a man? So I don't know if she should go in as a diva or a man. So I don't know.
Diva. I mean, China would not get in anytime soon. I'll tell you that right now. I mean, with the whole porn thing, drug thing, it's not gonna happen. They try not to mention her on the network, but too bad they had to because she was part of DX.
That's what I was thinking. But all jokes aside, I think Bull Nakano should go in, and it's just one of those things where I think WWE needs to recognize not just the men Japanese wrestlers, but the women as well. And I think she would be a perfect induction into that.
You see, with Miss Elizabeth, I mean, there's in my mind, like, okay, they put her in. I don't know about this year. It'd be great to put her this year, but you can put another deceased person in. I mean, maybe for once they could do two for 1 year, have Elizabeth and Macho Man. But my question is, if they put in Elizabeth this year, who will induct her in? Like, I mean, Macho Man is dead. I mean, who do you put in?
Of course, Hogan.
Well, Hogan's already doing Macho Man. Can someone do Miss Elizabeth?
I mean, that's the only person that you could think of. Who else would put Elizabeth in?
You could.
At first, I was thinking Lex Luger, but I was like, no, never mind. Fuck that shit, because their relationship went crazy at the end, you know? I mean, there's some people blaming Lex Luger for her death, but
with Elizabeth, you could maybe do Linda McMahon, maybe just for the fact that, I don't know how close she was to Miss Elizabeth, but I don't know. I think Linda McMahon could do it. I don't know about Stephanie, but
McMahon.
Yeah, I guess Vince McMahon could put her in there. So, I mean, that'd be very interesting to see what we put in for Elizabeth. But yeah, China's a good thing. Hold on, there's a couple lists. I got my friend George has two lists of women in there. Number one, we're talking about right now, Sable. I mean, I think they could put her in. I mean, she
Sable got away.
I mean, why not this year? Because first of all, Brock Lesnar's contract's gonna run out, and he's with Sable still. So why not this year? I think Sable could.
What is Sable?
Be great.
I mean, honestly, what has Sable really done? I mean, put it this way, she was doing a lot of media appearances, put the WWE on the map pretty much. What?
Showing them like,
showing her fucking titties.
Well,
I mean, yeah, I know she was a shitty wrestler, but I mean, her popularity was huge, and they made a lot of people that was not even wrestling fans watch WWE because of her. I mean, she got WWE business and all that.
I don't know. I mean, I personally don't like Sable. I fucking hated her. This tells you to how bad she was when I was a kid watching the Attitude Era. You know, being a little kid, you don't know anything, you know, the difference between really a bad wrestler and a good wrestler. You just like who you like. You know, you like the big faces, you hate the heels. You don't know anything about, like, work rate and all that shit.
Nah.
I knew Sable was shit. I knew she was a shit wrestler as a kid. I hated watching her matches. I hated
the only thing Sable was good at.
I hated her so much that I have an old VHS DVD. I forget which pay-per-view it was. But I hated her so much because of how shit she was. I crossed her face out with a black marker, and I wrote, "She's poop," right next to it.
Yeah.
That is how bad she was. That little kid me didn't like her, even though she was supposed to be a good guy. Good girl. Whatever.
Go ahead real quick and say the rest of these people, because we got to move on to some independent talk before the shows.
Hey, I did enjoy this Hall of Fame thing. It was pretty good, though. But, yeah, I mean, it was great. I mean, it was cool, though. You know?
I mean, there's still so many names that we haven't mentioned that deserve to be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we could go on for days listing men and women who deserve to be in the Hall of Fame.
I think we should have like a part 2 of it, but it was cool though. I mean, it was a cool conversation though.
Yeah, let's take a real quick break and let's get back to some wrestling talk here on
PWG
on the Elite Podcast Network. We'll be right back. Let's take a quick break. Get back, people.
Good afternoon, this is England's Zack Sabre Jr. and when I'm not drinking tea and hanging out with the Queen, I am always listening to WrestlingHeads Radio. Cheerio.
Welcome back, people. WH Radio, we are Zach. I'm Skits. That's Oscar and that's Tom. And it's the Elite, and this is the Elite Podcast Network. Gentlemen.
Yeah. I'm ready to talk. Some crazy ass shit been going on the last few days.
Before we get into that,
PWG,
I just want to announce these matches that have been announced today from AIW. Brian Myers and Cliff Compton will be at the next AIW show on February 20th. That has been announced today. So that's going to be added to their next show.
Awesome.
Look up for that, folks. And a couple of breaking news real quick for TNA. Jeff Hardy's got re-signed. Manic's re-signed. Awesome Khan is now signed to TNA. Kenny King re-signs. Gail Kim resigns. And Mark Andrews signs with TNA. So that's a couple other news from TNA. Let's throw out there. If you guys not know.
There you go, people. If you guys want to see Jeff Hardy in Hall of Fame, well, it's not going to happen anytime soon.
NXT, their next special show is coming up on February 11th. Also, that's
Yeah. I mean, I read the spoilers, but February 11th. Can't wait.
And I'm gonna go ahead and word in the streets is right now. These are some of the matches that may be on that show. Clarence Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn for the NXT title. That's a gold match waiting to happen. How about Finn Balor and Adrian Neville, number 1 contenders match?
That's gonna be great.
God, fucking NXT is just the shit. Like, I mean, it's so tough to think that they're in the same company as WWE. It's like dark and light. You know, you have the main roster, which has just so much. I mean, there's so much complaining. I mean, rightfully so. There is some good stuff, but a lot of it's just negative. And then you look at NXT, and even like the so bad stuff in NXT doesn't seem so bad. It's okay, and it's not bad. Like the Baron Corbin Dempsey feud that's been going on, it hasn't been good, but it's been okay because it's been building Baron Corbin up, and because they treat Baron Corbin like a total fucking badass. So,
yeah.
So even the stuff Speaking of Baron Corbin, let's talk about him and Bull Dempsey rematch. So,
is that a confirm or that's just a rumor?
I mean, these are all the matches that are most likely to be booked on that show. So, and Cara and Kalisto going against Wesley Blake and Buddy Murphy for the NXT tag titles.
That's interesting. Also with NXT, I like hearing this news, is that NXT is going on the road. They're going to be having their first show in Columbus, Ohio in March. That just means that NXT could be going anywhere. I don't think they're going to be on the road full time, but a couple times a year they go to New York or LA or Chicago. So I'm pumped about that.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Like, me thinking about that, like, okay, if they do come here in L.A., where would they do it? Like, that's kind of a scratchy head for me. I mean, I noticed they do their shows not in a big arena. It's like almost like an independent level type build venue, you know? I mean, it's hard to
think. We'll go to Reseda.
I don't know if I don't know if they're in New York is. Maybe you guys could find something, maybe the same building where they do a FWE. I don't know if they'll do it there. I mean, but
I mean, if NXT came to New York City, it's hard to say, but I think that they could sell out the Hammerstein Ballroom, which is 2,000 people. Now, they don't draw that in Florida, but I feel like if they put on a good card, I feel like they could sell out the Hammerstein Ballroom.
Okay.
Also, real quick about NXT, from looking at pictures, a friend of ours, Vicky, she writes for WrestlingHeads.com. She actually went to a taping or maybe a house show of NXT. I think it's a house show, and tonight is a triple threat match: Adrian Neville versus Finn Balor versus Hideo Itami.
Oh man,
damn.
She is lucky. She is lucky, Skids. Man, shout out to Vicky. Yeah, she's out there in Florida checking out the NXT, and I'm gonna give her a huge shout out for that. I mean, damn, she's one lucky person. I saw her pictures.
Solomon Pro was in action tonight too against Kalisto. So
yeah,
from what I saw on her Instagram, but a lot of shit going on in NXT. You know,
yeah,
it's definitely a good deal. I mean, NXT is kind of like the Indies, even though it's.
I heard some news. I don't know how credible this source is, but I was reading today on Reddit.com that Biff Busick might be getting a tryout with WWE soon.
Yeah, I just saw that. Biff is my
Biff
guy.
Busick might be getting a WWE tryout, which is good for him. I mean, Biff Busick is talented. I think he could bring a different aspect to WWE. But they're saying that Gabe Sapolsky was pretty angry because Biff's the top guy. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. But tryouts take a long time, and then even if they are signed, it takes like another couple months. So nothing really to look into.
Also,
it's funny.
Go back
to what Tom just said about Biff. I mean, and Gabe. I mean, really, does Gabe really think he's their top guy? Okay. If he's the top guy, I don't see him getting a title shot for any of those belts, like the Freedom Gate or the Evolve title. I see him putting him actually to feel about it.
Say this, no disrespect though, but he got to feed his family,
Yeah. I mean, hell, if WWE's offering more money than Gabe is, fuck it. You know what I'm saying?
Anybody would be, besides, if you're not the Young Bucks or you're not working full-time in Japan, you would be kind of stupid to turn down WWE.
Yeah.
But
regardless, let's move on.
Let's move on to Pro Wrestling Guerrilla. How about this?
Yeah.
It returns back Friday, February 27th. We will be in the fucking building. Same weekend as Ring of Honor.
Good. Me and you will be there, not Tom. Me and you will be there, not Tom.
Hey. The fans know, the fucking listeners know what we're talking about. We will be in the building.
Yeah.
Main event, ladies and gentlemen. Roddy Strong, his first title defense for the PWG World title. We go against my boy, Trevor fucking Lee. Let's go. Talk to me, guys.
Yeah. Well, that's going to be very interesting. I mean, I thought maybe Trevor Lee would do one more match, then he'd go after Roderick Strong, but oh well, let's do this. Roderick Strong gets Trevor Lee, the PWG title.
Tom, talk to me, and then I'll put on our next caller. Go for it.
I like this matchup. I mean, it's going to be a fucking great matchup. I think what I predict is going to happen, and I'll get probably more into it as we get closer to February 27th, but this is the match that's going to solidify Trevor Lee as a true main eventer in PWG. I feel like he's going to get so close to winning that title, but Roddy being Roddy, he's going to sneak out a win. And then you won't get a title shot for another couple months, but he'll keep on looking strong. But I think this is a match that's really going to put him over as a true top guy in PWG.
Definitely. I'm going to have Mr. Matt Grant join us in this conversation. Matt, talk to me about the match.
Roderick Strong and Trevor Lee. It's going to be a really good match, even though my bias against Roderick Strong. I can admit it's going to be a fantastic match, and I agree with you guys. Roddy picks up the victory, unfortunately. I'd love to see Trevor champ, but it's a little bit too early.
It's funny because me and fucking Matt argued the other day about this fucking match. Matt's my boy, he knows. But we had the argument about, I told him why Roddy was going to win over Trevor, but hey, it was funny though. But how about this, guys? Mr. Get Your Shit In, Brian Cage and Uhaa Nation decide to tag up as they go against, in my opinion, the best tag team in the fucking world, the Young Bucks.
Wow. I was dying laughing when I think it was Nick Jackson tweeted to PWG's Twitter. They're like, who the fuck booked this? We're going to die. I can't wait. I think this is going to be such an interesting matchup. You know, two powerhouses going against the Young Bucks, you know, flying spot fest style is going to be awesome to see. I think the Young Bucks are going to, you know, get thrown all across Reseda. There's going to be some super kicks thrown to Uhaa and Brian Cage. It's going to be fucking awesome. It's a different matchup, but I like it.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. Yeah, it's going to be a very interesting match. We're going to see some 619s. We're going to probably see some crazy ass flips from Uhaa Nation. I see them do some flips and stuff. But my question to you guys about Uhaa Nation, could this be his last PWG show? Or do you think he might do another one, then he goes to the WWE?
Good question. I have no idea.
Yeah, it's tough to tell right now. I think maybe he can pull out one more PWG show and then go to the WWE. That's just my opinion, but I don't know all the specifics on what's going on with him in WWE.
Yeah, because oh, go ahead.
My bad.
No, I was telling Tom. Suppose he agreed with the terms with WWE, so that's all I was trying to tell Tom. But yeah. All right, go ahead.
All I know is if Uhaa Nation goes to the WWE, I mean, don't fuck them up. I mean, there's so many guys who say that about in WWE, but you have I think Uhaa could be a credible main eventer there. He's got everything. He's got the charisma. He's got the in-ring talent. He's got the look. He's got everything WWE wants. There's no reason why he should not be a main eventer in that company within the next couple of years if he goes there.
Definitely.
Yeah. You know what's funny? When that broke out, somebody fucking tweeted, "Oh shit, he's joining a New Day." Like, oh fuck, get out of here.
Jesus Christ! Don't give them ideas.
I don't know.
Definitely. Matt, talk to me about the match.
I'm sitting here shaking my head at you guys for even mentioning that. Brian Cage and Uhaa Nation, two of the strongest guys in wrestling, teaming up together. It's going to be very interesting to see them together and against the best tag team in the world in the Young Bucks. What more can you ask for?
Definitely. Next match. I'm going to be honest with you, but my boy Matt knows more about him. Speedball Mike Bailey makes his PWG debut as he faces my boy Biff Busick. Since Matt knows more about Mike Bailey, talk to me about this matchup, Matt.
Mike Bailey, Speedball Mike Bailey, he's known for his work in C4 Wrestling and his work in a lot of the Quebec promotions. I've heard a lot about him. I've seen quite a bit of his work. He's really, really good, very, very underrated, and I think he's going to adapt real well to PWG, especially against Biff Busick. It's going to be a great match.
Yeah, I heard a little bit about him. Like, Matt Bailey was, like, I heard, I've seen, like, maybe 2 matches from him, but he was never in my mind that I say he should be in PWG right now. I never had that in my mind, but interesting. Let's see what he could do. I mean, he could probably surprise me. Like, hey, this guy's pretty good. I mean, fuck it, he's gonna enjoy it. But we'll see what he could do in Reseda. I mean,
Canadians coming to take over.
Yeah, the Canadians are taking over.
Yeah, I like this. I like getting this new talent in. I've only seen a little bit of Mike Bailey from CZW and some other promotions. Not a whole lot. But from the people that I've talked to that know more extensively about his work, they nothing positive what to say about the guy. I have no doubt that he's going to impress that Reseda crowd, and he's going to get some please come back chance at the end of the night.
Oh, definitely. Next matchup, my boy Drew Gulak returns to PWG, and he's taking on my other boy, Chris Hero. It's going to go down. Looking forward to this match. Should be a good one. Talk to me, Oscar.
I saw this match already in CCW last year, of course, or end of 2013, you can say. But yeah, they did put out a good match. Hopefully it'll be something like I saw that CCW match they had. And
wasn't that the match where Hero pieced out to go to Final Battle?
Yep, that's the one. The opener match that CCW show. But it was pretty good though. I did like it though. I did like that match though, okay? But then he didn't win over to the Final Battle later on that night. And it's gonna be very interesting. 2 hard hitting guys going at it, and put that in the PWG ring. I think the Reseda crowd will love this match.
I'm glad you drew that.
Yeah, so it's gonna be hard hitting, stiff, submissions. I'm looking forward to it. Regardless of what people still think about Chris Hero, guy can still go in there and go toe-to-toe with anybody. Doesn't matter. But I'm going to see this as a way to elevate, I think, Drew Gulak. I don't think Chris Hero needs it. He's been in PWG for a while, and he's an established talent there, and Drew Gulak's still new. So I feel like put the veteran against the new guy, and just a way to elevate Gulak. But I'm going to look forward to it. It's going to be stiff. There's going to be elbows and headbutts, and it's going to be wild.
A lot of submissions, too. I can't wait. Talk to us, Matt.
Drew Gulak and Chris Hero, like Oscar was talking about, it happened before at CZW, but I think they're going to have a much better match in PWG. The Reseda crowd is always much better as well, much more receptive. So it's going to be a really good match. I'm looking forward to it.
Definitely. Next match, that's actually not the next match. This is an announcement that was made last night. I started work. The first person that I hit up was Mr. Matt Grant. As Josh Alexander and All Eagle himself, Ethan Page, make their fucking debut at PWG. I thought it was going to be DDT4, but hey, let's get a little preview, bro.
I hit my climax last night.
This guy.
That is all, folks.
Talk to us about the match, Oscar. I mean, it's not even a match, but talk about us about the debut.
Great. I mean, we talked about in the show in the past that, hey, these guys should get in, and we actually think that it's going to happen. I mean, right after that IWO show we went to skits, we kind of hear rumbling about Monster Mafia getting in, and now it's official. They're getting in. I mean, well-deserved guys to get in. And I know the Reseda crowd is going to love them. Those 2 matches they had with the Young Bucks just shows me, hey, these guys should get in. They could work on with other tag teams, not just the Young Bucks, but any other tag team in the PWG roster. So happy for both of them to get in. Ethan Page is a guy he could go against even in a single run against like guys like Cedric Alexander or Trevor Lee in the singles match in PWG. You know, and same with Josh Alexander. They could do the same thing. So, but I'd like to see him as a tag team to get in, and hopefully one of these days they'll take those tag straps away from the world's cutest tag team.
Please. Go ahead, though.
I was pretty fucking happy to hear about this. It was weird because I was just thinking to myself when Mike Bailey was announced, I was thinking, man, you know, PWG really needs to bring in some established tag teams and bring in, you know, some tag teams that know each other and not just, you know, put together some makeshift tag teams. Like I said on Twitter, the makeshift tag teams that they put together are good and they're solid, but there's a whole different element than when you bring in an already established, credible tag team into the mix. And, you know, PWG, I think it's diminished within the last couple of years. They're still high up, the tag team titles. They're still treated as important. But, man, there were some shows, you know, in 2011 and 2012 where it seemed like the tag team titles were put up higher than the world title. I mean, you look back to Tremendous 3, that crazy triple threat ladder match between the Bucks, the Super Smash Brothers, and Future Shock, and one of the best ladder matches I've seen.
Let's not sleep on the Inner City.
Yeah.
On the Inner City Young Bucks and Elgin and fucking Brian Cage match. That fucking ladder match is crazy too. Let's not sleep on that. That was like 2 years ago. Let's not sleep on that.
Yeah.
And
that's the thing is that the PWG tag titles are still important, and I don't deny that, but there was a time where it just felt like there was more established tag teams trying to fight for that title, and now, you know, the tag team scene in PWG has kind of dwindled down. So bringing in some new tag teams is definitely good, and bringing in the Monster Mafia is good. It's just a great tag team. Both guys are unique in their own way, and, you know, they both bring their own styles, and I'm looking forward to it, and just a big congrats to both of them. They both deserve it.
Definitely. Matt, talk to me.
The Monster Mafia, man. Proud of these guys. They've come a long, long way, and they're getting a big opportunity, much, much deserved opportunity as well. I know you guys haven't brought them up yet, but the Beaver Boys are another interesting tag team as well. They're an established tag team as well. So, I mean, the more established tag teams we can get in PWG, the better.
Yeah, I was just about to bring up the Beaver Boys. Actually, the first time I seen these guys, you know, I'm like, this is a different type of tag team than the regular tag teams I watch, because these guys are just, like, technical, you know. This is a technical type of tag team. Like, you don't get those that much, you know, now these days. And I was, if anything, I love JT Dunn, you know, but at the time I thought, you know, Beaver Boys should have heard the CCW titles for a while, but that's just me. Go ahead, I'm going to touch on Oscar. Go ahead. Tell me your thoughts on Beaver Boys making their debut.
Yeah, happy to see these guys get in. I never really thought, like, oh, put these guys at PWG. I do like them in CCW. They're awesome. But I never had it in my mind, like, hey, put these guys in PWG. To me, I feel like if you know, the whole thing with Monster Mafia and Juicy Product was never, if all that never happened, probably they would have Juicy Product in as well. But unfortunately, I don't think that's going to happen. Unless you're going to see some MMA shoot fight in PWG.
Please.
But, yeah, is that ever going to happen? But nah. But yeah, like I said, Beaver Boys, they're a good tag team. Trust me, people. You've never seen them, watch your CCW stuff, and I'm sure that the crowd will love these guys. And that's another tag team I'd love to see take the strap from the world's cutest tag team.
As much as you say that, I don't know if the Beaver Boys are capable of doing that. I see them like as another fucking Monster, not Monster Mafia, but what's the tag team with Johnny Yuma and
Rockness Monsters.
Rockness Monsters.
Whoa, yeah, I see them.
Whoa.
Not as like I'm talking about playing the role, not like jobbers or nothing, but like they're gonna be in those type like the first match, that type of role.
Yeah, I can see kind of where you're coming from, but there was a period where the Rockness Monsters were getting this big push in the tag team title scene, and they were a viable threat to take the tag team titles at any time. And I think PWG really kind of messed things up by just, forgetting about them and then pushing them down the card. I think they could have been.
They need to bring my boy Yuma back. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
that's another story.
But I think the Beaver Boys are a different type of tag team than that. I think there's something different. Both Alex Reynolds and John Silver are both two talented guys.
Silver's a beast.
I love their work in CZW. So I think they're going to add something new onto the tag team title scene, no matter who they face. If they go against the Bucks, the Mafia, the Addiction, whoever, World's Cutest Tag Team, doesn't matter. So I'm looking forward to these two guys getting in there. They both deserve it as well, and it's just two new guys getting in there. And I also said this on Twitter. As much as it sucks to see the ROH guys go, and Adam Cole's been a big part of PWG for a couple of years now, and so is Kyle O'Reilly and all those different guys. And as much as it sucks to see them go, bringing in all this new talent, I think it gives a fresh feel to PWG. It's going to give something new to add into PWG, and you still have incredible talent there. But bringing in these fresh faces gives brand new matchups to go on for months and months, and it's just something different. And I think that's what PWG really needed, is just something fresh, something new, but still keeping that PWG style.
Definitely. Did you want to comment on it, Matt, or?
No, I'm pretty good where I left off. It was just. Beaver Boys are going to do well. I'm just interested to see what they do for their first matches, both the Monster Mafia and the Beaver Boys.
Definitely. And another matchup that has been booked for today, Cedric Alexander will take on Tommaso Ciampa on February 27th in Reseda, California. And that should be a good matchup. Well, we're pretty sure these guys have good chemistry together already, so, they work in Ring of Honor together, so.
I was just about to say they had a really good match on Ring of Honor TV not too long ago. I definitely highly suggest check it out, and they're going to tear it up again at PWG.
Definitely. You guys want to comment on it?
Yeah, when before that match was announced, I thought okay, no more Ring of Honor guys. You're bringing all these new talent like Monster Mafia and Beaver Boys. I'm thinking, okay, they're going to be replacing CCW guys and Canadian talent to the Ring of Honor guys. But then when I saw Cedric and Tommaso, I was like, okay, never mind. But I think it's going to be a great match. I mean, hopefully Cedric. I feel something special is happening for Cedric and PWG, but I don't know what this whole Ring of Honor thing is like. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Maybe. If it's true, I mean, most likely it's true. Well, that O'Reilly and Cole are no longer going to compete, but it worries me that maybe down the road that maybe Ring of Honor will take Cedric away from PWG, but we'll see how it is. Maybe same with Tommaso, they'll do the same thing, but interesting to see how their future is going to be like, and yeah, we'll see. It's going to be a good match, I'll tell you that. And just can't wait. February 27th.
Definitely. Definitely going down We'll be there. Me and Oscar representing WrestlingHeads and the Elite Podcast Network. So look out on the tweets. We'll probably live tweet from both WrestlingHeads Twitter and the Elite Podcast Network's Twitter page that night. I have an announcement I want to make here on the show. We are proud to announce that we will be sponsoring Alpha One's next event, which I don't know what's the name or anything like that. That's a little sneak peek for our listeners out there. We will be working with Alpha One for the next event.
If you want a name, I could possibly make that happen.
You can do it.
All right, Watch the Throne 3. It's coming.
And we ain't talking about Jay-Z and Kanye West. I don't know if you got that reference. I don't know if you got the reference, but also be sure to, if you're in the Canada area, January 18th is going down to Sunday. My boy Matt's going to be there. Matt, I'll let you talk a little bit about what's going on Sunday. With
Alpha One Wrestling Sunday night, man. It's going down. But first, we got Beta Pro in conjunction with Alpha One Wrestling, kind of presenting the future stars. We got Space Monkey taking on Ethan Page. You got Jim Nye the Science Guy taking on Scotty O'Shea. You got Brent Banks taking on Will White, and you got Kobe Durst taking on Josh Alexander. And that's on the Beta Pro card, plus a few other matches going down. So come on out and support a double shot of Alpha One Wrestling. Then we got the main card, Matt Rat. And we have a big main event, Cedric Alexander, Josh Alexander, Alpha Male Champion Brent Banks for that Alpha Male Championship. And it's basically three guys with three different goals, all for that one championship. We also have the return of the Alpha One Tag Team Championships. It's going to be the Gym Rats. It's going to be the Oppression. It's going to be 3.0. And it's going to be the Goat Brigade. We also have the Zero Gravity Championship on the line. Ricky Shane Page defending against Eric Ryan. Felicia Sparks against Allison Kay. And much more going down this Sunday, Alpha One Wrestling.
Yeah.
How could I forget? Artie Evans, Ethan Page.
Yeah, be sure to go check that out, people, if you're down in the Canada area. And this weekend, me and Oscar, actually tomorrow, we'll be at Lucha Underground tapings all day. And I forgot to even talk about this promotion, but Santino's is also having a show tomorrow, too. You got to go check that one out. My girl, Ruby Reyes, we're going one-on-one with Shelly Martinez. Rocky Romero is also going to be in the main event for the Santino's title. Tyler Bateman going against Big Bad Tito. Steffi going down. Tino's Bros. Show some support with them. Go follow them. Good promotion out here in SoCal.
Yeah, I know you guys love your AWS as well, and we're having a big hype show at the Indie Power Rankings Live this coming Tuesday for that Race to the Ring show. So just want to throw that out there.
Yeah, we're going to be there 1 week from tonight. We're going to be at night one at AWS/Wrestling Care show. I guess me and Skip's going to go both nights. So, we'll be there next weekend. And but back to Lucha Underground for this weekend. Like I said, I'm hearing rumblings that El Patron will be there this weekend, but he'll be on the Sunday tapings. And
don't forget about my boy Sean Hernandez.
Sean Hernandez. Okay, he'll be there. Is he going to be there tomorrow, or do you know what taping?
I believe he's doing both tapings.
All right, cool. So I'll check it out tomorrow. All I know is the people who ever attend the shows that's listening, it's the same rules like the last tapings. You can't not wear no logos, no WWE shirts, no hats. That's about it. It's pretty much the same shit. Out there'll be some tacos out there. Remember, there'll be some tacos out there. Remember that skit? I mean, hopefully there'll be some food out there.
I got what is those fries? Fries with meat and cheese and shit on it. Sour cream and all that good shit.
Okay.
Chili cheese fries?
No, not chili cheese fries.
Chili cheese fries. It's all these. It has like sour cream and all that stuff. It was like a design. It was crazy. I remember skips over that shit. Like, damn, it looked good.
And I was gonna also tell, like, for other folks that are going to Lucha Underground, if you don't want to wear just some plain shirt, buy a Lucha Underground T-shirt, which is a wrestling shirt. Make it look like a man. Just saying. So,
yeah. Just you could buy a Lucha Underground shirt there. Fuck it, just buy it, and and enjoy the show. And I'm gonna be enjoying it. I'm happy to see talent like Drago, Sexy Star, Prince Puma, and and also that show, if you watched Lucha Underground this past Wednesday, that was a show that I took skits for his first Lucha Underground show that just aired, and I saw a little clip of me and skits on the show when Draga fucking jumped from the fucking remember he jumped off.
Right by us.
Yeah, it was right by us. They showed us. They showed us when Drago climbed on the thing, and they were like, "Oh shit, it was me and Skid." But it was kind of crazy with Drago in that spot, in that match. And when he landed on King Cuerno, and he landed on him when he was on top of the table.
Somebody can find a GIF. Send that to me because I'm probably going to GIF for sure.
Maybe.
Buffalo's got to be on the GIF.
Maybe, but we'll see. If you haven't seen that episode, check us out. We're like right there in that thing. So keep watching Lucha Underground though. It's great, and hopefully the next tapings it'll be very interesting to see. Maybe we'll see El Patron, and we'll see what happens. And if anything goes down, we might post it on Twitter or WrestlingHeads.com.
I have one more announcement to make before we end the show. In case you have not been following our Twitter, this show's not going to happen until February, but February 20th, it's actually going to be an early show, 3 o'clock East Coast time, if you can make it. Hanson is going to be here live on the Elite Podcast Network here on WH Radio as I interview him one-on-one because it looks like everybody else is going to be busy. I know everybody's got work and shit, so I'll have to take care of shit here on the show on a one-on-one interview with me and him. Should be fun to promote the next Ring of Honor pay-per-view, which is going to be a big deal. We'll be there live. It's going to be fun. My first ROH show, Oscar's first ROH show is going down.
Yep. You guys are in for a treat, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Before we go off, let's throw out some plugs because we got 6 minutes here on the show. Matt, you want to throw out some plugs for the listeners?
Yes, I'll definitely make that happen. You can follow the Weekly Wrestling Podcast at Weekly W Podcast. You can follow the Elite Podcast Network at Elite Podcast Net. Let's see here. Eyes on the Ring makes a return right here to the Elite Podcast Network Sunday night. You guys are back here Monday night. Indie Power Rankings live on Tuesday night. I think Beyond the 3 Counts hooking up something big for their show for Wednesday. And then, you guys know the schedule from there. So basically just stay tuned for more here on the Elite Podcast Network, providing the best in independent wrestling coverage. Check out the Uncle Mike and Tom show. Check out everybody support the Elite fan.
Definitely. Tom, go ahead, throw out your plugs, bro.
Yep. All you got to do, follow me on Twitter at @2tweetme. That's my only social media account, so that's where you'll find me. Follow me on there. Make sure I'll follow you back. And just like Matthew Grant said, make sure you follow everyone on the Elite Podcast Network. I'm enjoying everybody's shows, as I always am. But now we're all doing this together. We're all elite, and we're going to be taking over the podcast scene, and it all starts in 2015. So I'm looking forward to it. Some quality shows from everybody coming up. It's going to be an awesome 2015 for the Elite Podcast Network. I'll tell you that.
Definitely. Oscar, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, you can follow me at Sinister632. Instagram, Twitter. Yeah, follow me on there. Just hit me up whenever you want to talk about wrestling, whatever, so I will talk to you. And, yeah, check out WrestlingHeads.com. Hey, check out my blog I post. I finally put a blog talking about, is this a Wednesday night war between NXT and Lucha Underground? Check that out. Let me know what you think. And maybe I will bring back the classic match of the week pretty soon. So, yeah, just check that out and keep a lookout to it. And, you know, happy to be posting stuff on WrestlingHeads.com now.
Definitely. Oh, I forgot one more plug. You can follow Skits' Shitty Mike at Skits' Shit Mike.
Oh, God. Okay, that's how we start off the show. Now how are we going to end it?
Wow. Anyway.
Oh, man.
I'm going to go ahead and throw out my plugs. You can follow me on Twitter at WHSkits. You can follow WrestlingHeads at WrestlingHeads. ProWrestlingTees.com/WrestlingHeads. YouTube.com/WrestlingHeads. If you want to listen to some of our old shows, you can still go to our old blog talk site. I think some of our shows are there. blogtalkradio.com/WrestlingHeadsRadio. And again, also blogtalk.com/Elite Podcast Network. What else we got? WrestlingHeads.com. Check out all the news that we post there. And, we'll be back on Monday talking some Monday Night Raw and Royal Rumble and some other shit like that. So it should be fun.
It's going to be a Raw reunion, so we'll see what happens. And maybe it'll be
Fuck
just...
that, guys. Talk about Raw alternatives.
It'll be just too sweet.
Hey, do you mind if I do it real quick?
There you go. I also want to say I fucking love PWG. That's all.
I fucking love you too, PWG. I fucking love you.
Hey, guys. No. I want you to hear you guys say that when you guys go to a show, not just watch it on DVD.
Hey,
no, I fucking love them for booking my boys.
We have a caller here in the last 2 minutes. Let's throw on this caller real quick. 812, you're on WH Radio.
We're accepting calls.
812?
I remember when we first called them, they were all like, holy shit, we have callers. Shut the fuck up. Because this guy was talking.
Okay.
Wait, what?
I don't know. Some bomb. Suck a dick. Anyways.
Well, that was awkward.
It was funny, too. I love it. You know,
I thought that was going to be like Super Dragon, and he was going to be silent, and I was just going to, bow down to him,
This guy.
I would have joined you. I totally would have joined you.
I'm throwing my money at my screen, but nothing's happening.
Nobody has time for bum-ass callers like that. But I guess we're done for the show. So until Monday, we're out. Peace.